This is JPL back for another reaction video, and today we'll be reacting to the first two-part finale for Friendship is Terrifying. This is going to be part 1, The Terror of the Gala. And alright, yeah, we're going to be finishing up this season, and then I'll give my thoughts on this show in the next video. And so yeah, let's just get started in 3, 2, 1, click. As usual, I'm gonna try not to be very loud because it's nighttime, people are sleeping.
Is there something bad about cutie marks?
Loves, hate, relationship with taxes.
Oh no, there is, isn't there?
Have a seat, my daughter. I understand your desire to possess a cutie mark, as Pony Society revolves around the cutie mark system. However, it is unlikely there's a pony alive that remembers where they come from, or the purpose that they serve. What I am about to reveal to you is an ancient mystery, and the knowledge could cause a great deal of turmoil if it became publicly known. However, you need to understand these things since they will directly affect you.
They're robots.
I will entrust you with this mystery, and your judgment on deciding who, if any pony, you decide to share it with.
I'm not sure I want to know now.
I'm wearing a pony shirt, by the way.
You don't know this, my daughter, but you need to know it. For you are the daughter of the Prince of Terror, and that title is not an empty one. You must walk in the terror of understanding, and never shrink from it.
The daughter of
Then
terror.
tell me, Papa.
Long ago, the ponies were ruled by a great alicorn named Celestia.
What a title.
He wanted all ponies to live in harmony, so he crafted the magic that created the cutie mark system. When he finished his project, he offered the magic to everyone, including the dragons. But my father, who was the king of dragons, refused it, as he understood the power of the cutie marks came at a price he was unwilling to pay.
Price?
A price? Oh, Papa. That's the bad thing, isn't it?
It is a subtle thing, my daughter, and on hearing it, you may not even think it a bad thing. You currently have no cutie mark, and because of that, you and your friends have learned many skills, have you not?
That's true, Papa. We tried just about everything we could think of trying to get our cutie marks.
Let's say, just for the sake of argument, that you got your cutie mark in lion taming. What will you be doing the rest of your life?
Lion taming.
Taming lions?
Do you see it, my daughter? The price?
I think so. You're saying that having a cutie mark would keep me from doing the things other than what the cutie mark told me to do.
Indeed, my daughter.
Well,
But
this
it is
has since
more
been
than that. The magic of the
disproven
cutie mark triggers when you have found a fulfillment.
lately, which
After it triggers,
I think this was made in 2016 before season 6, where we saw the
I don't know, Papa.
Crusaders doing fun
Takes the power
activities.
from all your other latent talents to empower your cutie mark talent. So it not only encourages you to pursue your primary talent, but it makes it more difficult to do anything else. Celestius believed that everyone knowing their set place in society would promote harmony and decrease conflict. And he was correct. However, my father believed that freedom was worth the conflict that came with it, and preferred the turmoil of change to peaceful stagnation. But there was another reason beyond this.
I guess Pinkie Pie is a good exception to this rule.
There's more?
Because,
Indeed. You have heard of the Tree of Harmony, have you not?
Of course.
like, she
That's
does
where the
whatever
elements
she
of harmony
wants.
came from. Does the tree have something to do with cutie marks?
Indeed it does. The Tree of Harmony is a living artifact. It is an artificial intelligence that oversees the cutie mark system. It possesses great power. The question is, where does that power come from?
Good question. Can we proceed?
From us?
I cannot prove it yet, my daughter, but that is my abiding suspicion. Not all the power from your latent talents goes to your cutie mark. Some of it goes to power the tree itself, and it's likely a source of power from the elements of harmony as well.
So, if there were no cutie marks, the elements of harmony would stop working?
That is my theory, my daughter, and it is very likely the case.
It makes sense.
So what should I do then? Should I stop
Also
trying
doesn't.
to get a cutie mark? Is that even possible?
Yes and no.
The magic of the Tree of Harmony is very complex. Celestius was a brilliant magician
It's like
whose knowledge
it's
of
like the
magic
Last
creation
Jedi.
far exceeds my own. And the magic of the Tree of Harmony
It both
is
makes
woven into
sense
the very
and doesn't
being
at the
of
same
every pony
time.
on this world. I do not know if it is even possible to stop a cutie mark from triggering.
I was so looking forward to having one. Now,
With or without a cutie mark, you are my daughter. If you end up taming lions, it will be because that is your greatest talent. There is nothing wrong with that. And as long as the elements of harmony remain in Wife's hooves, that power will also be put to good use.
even so, I want to be like you. I don't want that silly tree telling me what to do with my life.
Very well then. I will look into the matter. Since Twilight has discovered the Abyssal Library and the Dark Side,
Oh, has she now?
she and I may be able to unravel this mystery together, and find some way to allow ponies to refuse a cutie mark if they so wish.
Oh.
Couldn't you just destroy the tree?
Perhaps, my daughter. But the ponies chose to live under its power of
Oh,
their
it's
own
gone
free
now,
will.
so...
It is not my place to take the tree from them.
Debatably. Debatably gone.
What are those?
They're golden tickets for the Grand Galloping Gala.
You seem too concerned for this to be a mere social event.
It's not. The Unicorn Council has decided to recognize you as official equestrian royalty and plan to coronate you at the gala.
Uh-huh.
That is good news, is it not?
Yes, of course it is. But Princess Celestia wants to meet with us before the coronation.
Oh, then this is a trap.
Probably.
Since I've learned the truth about Celestia, I have been dreading this day. Even as we've been preparing for it,
I don't remember what the truth
we
was.
have to go through with this.
We must, my beloved. She was determined enough to spend 1,000 years preparing to find me and kill me. Even if we flee to another world, I have no doubt she will pursue
Something
us
like
to the
that.
ends of time and
But-
space if need be.
You are right.
It's not something that you just
We have to
remember.
do this.
It wasn't really
We
simple.
have to confront her.
It
Do
was
you
explained
have
in 30
regrets, my
minutes.
beloved?
About you? Never think it. Not for a second. I will do what I have to do, but I do it with great sorrow.
I once feared that you would drown if you drank from my cup, but to my eternal joy, you are far stronger than I believed possible, and are indeed
Must be
worthy
a
to
big
stand
cup.
by my side.
Drown? I nearly did drown in it, my love. But I heard your voice when I was sinking into those black waters, and only then found the strength to swim.
What, water?
You are my
What,
strength.
was there water?
I do not pretend it to be
This is really
otherwise.
goofy.
And as
Yeah.
long as you are for me, nothing can
It's
stand
cheesy.
against me. Not even Celestia.
And yet every
Then
person wants to
summon
hear
our
that in real life.
friends, for Celestia has set a grand stage for her play, and we must all know our roles upon it.
2 weeks. Rear entrance. And you know, they're just reusing their costumes.
Ma'am, you can't have that weapon in Canterlot. We will have
Rainbow
to
doesn't even have her dress.
Oh, really?
I don't think.
What about her weapon?
She doesn't have a weapon.
The book she doesn't. She has a laser cannon mounted on her forehead. So you do your job and confiscate it.
But that's... I'm sorry, ma'am. But the law specifically states no guns are allowed here.
Well,
And her tail's clipping,
I wouldn't
so
want to be a lawbreaker now, would I? Even if the law is obviously prejudiced against Earth ponies and inherently stupid to begin with. So, you can take my gun. No problem. But, I will have to insist that you take all the bullets first.
Do you see a gun? Nope. Neither do I.
well,
These are the
Applejack,
ponies
once
we
you
are
do
looking
that,
for. Move
you'll be
along,
considered
citizen. We are so fired.
technically already a murderer, but now that you've killed officers, so you are a #1 target in terms of the law.
Relax, it's a perm. Besides, I still like parties. I just don't need parties.
And yeah, this isn't even Canterlot. I guess they don't have a set. Or they weren't even using Ponyville, no.
Ghidra has done all that you have asked of him, Celestia. He has completed your quest and befriended all of the
Ghidra.
elements of harmony, demonstrating he has what
Ghidra.
it takes to be a true equestrian. Even his cruelty is kindness.
His generosity has changed my life. I am forever grateful.
And his smile is to die for. Honesty? Do I even have to say it? Truth is his roots, and though his fruit is sometimes bitter,
Smile
it
to
heals
die
even
for.
the most ancient of wounds. And he's awesome! Oh, I mean, loyal!
Oh,
Yeah.
well done, my little ponies. That is a
Remember
very
that
fine
she's
endorsement
the
for
loyal
the Prince
one.
of Terror. However, what is it really
It's
worth?
a really sinister
Am I
looking
really to take the word
Celestia.
of a coward, a drama queen, a manic
Good
depressive
lighting.
schizophrenic, a murderer and a fool? I think not. His forked tongue has deceived you all, but not just you, the whole of Equestria. In the next room, the fool ponies eagerly await the Prince of Terror to put a crown upon his head and welcome the wolf into the sheep pen, and nothing I say can change their minds.
Celestia have an accent?
So you have won, Ghidorah. You have effortlessly outmaneuvered me at every turn, and turned even the elements of harmony against me. However, you murdered my mother and my father, and I cannot live under the same heaven as my father's killer. So,
Should be in prison.
since you abyssals love having choices,
that?
I will give you one, Ghidorah. Either you step through this portal and go back to your prison,
Oh, that was
or
a prison.
I will.
But, without you, the sun will die, and all life on this planet with it. Are you really willing to go so far to have your revenge? Begging your pardon, princess, but the very nature of this here trap proves the true
I would
character
assume
of
that
you
Luna
both.
knows how to
If
raise
he
the
steps
sun.
through that portal, it proves that he cares more about the lives of strangers than himself, proving he has to be a creature of great virtue. If you step through that portal,
And with the
it
sun
serves
blue
to
in its
reason.
own
It proves
theoretically.
your character to be just the opposite.
Probably
You,
not.
of all ponies, would question me. You who so recently killed to avenge your own parents would question my virtue?
Well now, ma'am, other than the fact that our scenarios involve our parents, there is in fact no moral equivocation between our situations.
Situation.
One I done murdered my pa-in-law after they'd shown him nothing but kindness. My killing One Eye then was an act of justice, not revenge. But your ma and pa died in a war
Technicality.
that your pa started. My prince killed them to save not only himself, but all his people. You trying to kill him for it is like saying the only moral thing he could have done was lay down and let your pa slit all their
It
throats.
was the moral
What
thing.
you're doing now would be like if One Eye had a daughter and she came a-calling to avenge her pa. That ain't justice. That's just plain old murder.
How dare you? What makes you think you can speak to me this way?
Well,
Their
princess,
natural face
last time
is
I
one of
checked, I
smiling.
was the element of honesty.
Enough
I don't
of
know
this.
they have
I will
faces
hear
for
no
anger.
more of his forked-tongued lies from
That's
your
just
mouth.
the normal
My father
model.
was a good, wise, and just ruler. He would never have done any of those things. I will hear no more of your lies. Ghidorah must make his choice, or I will make it for him.
No.
Abyssals are the bane of all living things. Their love for violence and hatred has already infected all of you, and soon all of my little ponies as well.
No.
I will not live in a world governed by violence and hatred.
I said no!
It looks like Twilight's gone.
Well, that was unexpected. Anyone for some end of the world tea?
Twilight! You have damned us all by bringing me here. There is no escape from this place. Discord improves.
Celestia, you were gonna go there
There is no way out except
yourself,
through his
too.
portal. And both Discord and my sister guard the device.
If we had stayed, I would have destroyed Canterlot with what I'm about to do. And as for your sister, my friends can handle her.
Without you, your friends are nothing. Without your friends,
Not
you are nothing.
true.
Without the elements of harmony, they cannot defeat my
Twilight
sister.
is still
I have ordered her to
powerful.
become Nightmare Moon to protect the portal. Not even your
Oh.
beloved Prince of Terror can stand against her vile
I
sorcery.
guess
And
interesting.
without the elements of harmony, you cannot defeat me. Such arrogance you now possess. Yes, I can see his influence in you, that you would now dare threaten me with the very alicorn power which I granted you. But you are
Oh
too
yeah,
fools.
Twilight's a clone.
For what I have given, I can take away.
That was a thing. And now she's just a unicorn.
Dear
Wasn't
Princess
that
Celestia, if I am
a
arrogant,
friendship spell?
I did not learn that trait from my new mentor. If anything, he is more humble than he should be. No, I learned
Back to
that trait
unicorn.
from
When
you.
ponies was very simple.
What are you doing, Twilight? That power?
It's chaos.
Twilight,
No, it's not chaos.
don't you
it's
mean Specimen 23?
terror.
You had to teach me the magic of friendship and grant me the element because it was not the element I was born with. Was it, Mother? You did not grant me the alicorn power of friendship to empower me. You granted it to me to control my true power.
No, Twilight. You must not use that power. It cannot be controlled.
You needed the elements of
What?
harmony to kill Ghidra. But your father's weapon has a fatal flaw, doesn't it, Celestia? It must have a balance of celestial and abyssal magic, or it will not fire. A fact that you did not realize until your sister, your abyssal sister, was banished from Equestria. It is ironic that you used your own power to banish her, and in so doing made the elements nothing more than useless ornaments. But you needed their power still, so you made yourself an abyssal you could control. You used me to defeat your sister when she returned, because you could not use the elements yourself. And now that the elements have bonded to my friends, you have no choice but to go on using me as your weapon. But that was your intent from the beginning, wasn't it? I was to be at once both more expendable and more reliable than your sister. Well, sorry to disappoint you, Celestia, but I am now free of your power, and so you shall now taste mine. For I am no longer your pawn. I am the abyssal princess of wrath, and your hour of reckoning is at hand.
You know, you'd think that Celestia would consider this before giving your creation unlimited power. You think she'd try and make a failsafe. Just saying. Ah. A bad pony, Twilight? Those wings don't look
You missed.
Since when has Twilight Sparkle ever
artistically
failed?
pleasing.
Good night, sweet princess.
You are a fool, Specimen 23. You failed the moment you brought me to this place. From the moment my power awakened, my father's sun has drawn upon it. For 1,000 years,
Your
my power has grown
father's
hidden in
sun.
the sun's warmth. Now, for the first time in my life, I am free of that
So
burden,
your brother,
and I feel my true power.
or the
I
son.
am Celestia, the true-born heir of my father's power, and as none could stand before his light, so too shall you fall. Now, burn beneath the heat of 1,000 suns.
Why 1,000? One sun would be enough. That'd do the trick. Well, I guess Twilight's dead.
You were my greatest triumph, Specimen 23. Twilight Sparkle. If you had just attacked and killed the Prince of Air
Celestia,
instead
a
of
creature's
falling
not
for
dead
him,
unless they're
you
burnt.
could have reigned and ruled
That
by
ain't
my
burnt.
side forever. But 1,000 years of planning were ruined by a single kiss. And so my greatest triumph has become my greatest disappointment. You are a mistake, Specimen 23, and now I shall erase you. Any last words?
Your
Twilight
hindsight's
Sparkle,
not very
abyssal
good,
princess
Celestia.
of wrath.
Oh, was that the end of the episode? Wow, that went by really quickly. As compared to last time, which didn't go by at all. you know what? I might as well just keep this the same video. Like, why not? It's a two-parter. Why divide it into two parts? But yeah, I do think that Celestia's hindsight is not very good. Maybe even her foresight, to be honest, because she created Twilight, and Twilight's explaining that Celestia gave her this massive amount of power. But to have that power, you really should think of a failsafe. Because, like, to think that your creation would be infallible, that they could not be deceived or changed, is just a mistake on its own. And so Celestia's plan here is just no good. Is not very smart. But let's move on to part 2 and see how this season of Friendship is Terrifying concludes. So yeah, let's just get started in 3, 2, 1, click.
You were my greatest triumph, Specimen 23, Twilight Sparkle. If you had just attacked and killed the Prince of Terror instead of falling for him, you could have reigned and ruled by my side forever. But 1,000 years of planning were ruined by a single kiss. And so my greatest triumph has become my greatest disappointment. You are a mistake, Specimen 23, and now I shall erase you.
No child
Any
wants to hear
last
that from their
words,
parent.
Twilight Sparkle, abyssal princess of wrath.
Those who are ignorant of history are doomed to repeat it.
What was that, my dear? I didn't quite hear you.
I said, those who are ignorant of history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
Murderer! You are a murderer! You plotted the death of a dragon whose only crime was defending himself. Murderer! Your father was a murderer!
I do
You
think
murdered
that this...
Guy's father in cold blood, then plotted a campaign of genocide to murder everyone Guy ever loved. It's your father's
Really,
insane desire for harmony that led to war.
case in
It was
point,
that
right
war
here.
that killed your mother. And when Guy confronted your father with the truth of what he had become, it was your father who murdered himself.
No, I do not want to know these things. I cannot know these things. Remove these visions from me. I would rather be dead than know these things. My sweet father, I shall join you in death.
No, princess. You don't get to die. You don't get to take the easy way out. You
No.
get to live with the truth, just as I do.
But why, Twilight? I deserve to die for what I have done to you.
Yes, you do.
But friendship
So
is
why?
magic.
3 reasons. First,
And probably so does
and I have
Discord.
come up with several
And other
contingency plans in case I
characters
had
do
to
deserve
kill
to
you.
die.
But without an immortal with the power of light, it isn't possible to replace or retune Equestria's sun. So the only long-term solution is to evacuate the entire planet. But that would take years.
Twilight.
And in the meantime, millions of ponies and dragons
think
would
you're
die in
powerful
confusion
enough
and
to do it
chaos of a
yourself.
world gone dark. All those creatures fighting and dying in the dark.
Is
would have
Celestia
nothing
the
to
only
do
one
with
who can
the
raise the
evils you have
sun?
inflicted upon me and
That's a
Guy.
good question.
And I would not see them die just to fulfill our need for justice. Second, even if we found some
It's a
way
really
to
poor
command your
system
father's
of...
sun, the ponies of Equestria have become completely dependent on you. Your
What if
efforts
they
to make
died?
the ponies peaceful has made them helpless. Your efforts to make them happy have kept them ignorant. And your efforts to keep them orderly have completely eliminated their capacity for individual thought. I will be fixing those things, but that will take time. If you were to suddenly disappear, the ponies might panic, and might even turn on each other in their confusion. And
Very
lastly,
likely, yes.
Mother, despite everything I now know, and everything you have done, I still love you.
Then what am I supposed to do now, Twilight? You seem to love dark secrets, so I shall offer you another. I have never known what to do. I loved my father more than life. He was my world, and he was supposed to be there for me forever. But he sent me ahead of him, said he'd be with me in a day. But he never showed up, Twilight. He never came for me, and I didn't know what to do. Mother left me with a screaming infant, and said she'd be back for me with father in a day. She never showed up, Twilight. She never came for me.
Not exactly a secret.
Since you have clearly found my secret library,
This could be
I'm
soon.
sure you know the heroic tale of how I saved Equestria. But I doubt you've heard all of it. When my father died, many ponies found me and begged me to command my father's star. I told them that I couldn't, that only my
We're
father
back
could
to
command me.
just
But in truth,
dialogue
I
like
had not
this.
even tried. I was content to let the whole world die on account of my grief. My sister was crying, always crying. I hated her for being helpless, Twilight. I hated having to care for her. I hated my mother for not taking Luna with her. I hated everything and everybody. I wanted them all to be dead. And then
That's
Discord found me
that's a mate right
and
there.
asked me in his whimsical way.
You're so
if I was
helpless.
really
Oh my gosh, I
content
hate
for the
you.
whole world to die, while my father's killer lived on. In that moment, all of my hatred focused on just one dragon, Ghidorah, the Prince of Terror. I convinced myself he was responsible for all of my pain and loss, and fiercely determined that I would not die while he yet lived. It was my fierce hatred in that moment that gave me the strength to awaken my true power and rekindle my father's sun. It was my hatred that has given me the strength to go on all of
So,
these years.
if Twilight hates, then
Other
she
than that
could
one
take
goal of
the
killing
sun.
him, I did not know what else to do. When Star Swirl the Bearded came to me, begging me to lead the ponies of the West, I did not know what I was doing. My father ruled, and since he was immortal, there was never any need for him to prepare me to take his place. So I knew nothing of statecraft or of being a ruler. So I did my best to
Nor
rule
does
like
any
he
ruler when they start out
But just as
ruling.
you say, Twilight, in making them happy, peaceful, and content, I have turned them into helpless sheep that every would-be tyrant on this world seeks to devour. They are completely dependent on my protection, and if I should ever fail them, they will be devoured. And so, even in my success, I am yet again a failure. And my sister, my poor sister. I did not know how to raise a foal, Twilight. I was little more than a foal myself, but no one else could handle an infant born with an immortal's power, so yet again I did the best I could. But when she was older, she resented me mothering her when I was but her sister, and I resented her trying to be my equal when I was the one who raised her. We ended up as rivals, a foolish, childish contest of popularity that I took too far. She could not win that battle, Twilight. My influence, beauty, and power were greater than hers, and having won, I let the ponies of Equestria mock her openly and deny her the respect owed her station. In her despair and loneliness, she turned to the only thing left to her.
This doesn't exactly have something to do with this
became
right here.
Nightmare Moon. And so
But-
once again, my best efforts ended in disaster.
You know what would be interesting?
My sister hated me so much she sold her soul for power and nearly killed us all. And
Show us
now,
the time
I actually
period
ordered her to
within
do it
the
again.
100 years or 1,000 years.
I am a
in
miserable
between
fool, Twilight. I was
Nightmare
so
Moon
blinded
and
by my lust
where
for
the show
revenge, I
was.
have killed them all. If Nightmare
happened?
Moon doesn't destroy them, then the death of my father's son.
I mean, what happened here?
You are the culmination of 1,000 years of failure, Twilight Sparkle. But just maybe this last failure has in fact been a success. You have a strength I never did, Twilight. You can peer into those dark corners of your soul that I cannot. You may be the ruler Equestria truly needs.
Maybe, Princess.
Celeste, you can
Not the one
look.
they
You just don't want to.
They aren't ready to drink from my cup. And until they are, they will need you to go on being you. Now, do you really want me to tell you what to do, Princess?
Twilight,
Fine.
how big is your cup?
You will go back to Equestria. You will attend the gala as planned. You will smile graciously and pretend nothing has happened. And you will place a crown upon Prince Ghidra's head.
Twilight, I cannot love that dragon, even knowing he was in the right. He killed my parents. I can never love him.
I
You don't
need
have
to love
to
my
love
key,
him.
Princess. That's my job. All I really need is for you to stop trying to kill him.
It's our
Do
job.
you think you can do that much?
Yes, Twilight.
In more ways than
My
one.
hatred for him burned out with my delusions about my father. I don't have anything but a hole where my hatred used to be. I feel numb, Twilight. But I no longer have the will to cause him harm.
It's a void.
Nevertheless, we are trapped here.
Also, there
Only
you,
Discord can
you
reopen
don't
the
just
portal,
stop
and
hating
he will not
immediately.
do so. He
There's
has
still
the
a bit
power
of
to lead our
resentment.
world and has no love for Equestria. I was very thorough in planning this trap. How are we to return?
You took the alicorn power of friendship away from me, Princess. But you didn't take away my friends.
There is no way they can prevail, Twilight. Not even Ghidorah can stand against Nightmare Moon.
The true magic of friendship isn't magic at all,
No.
Princess. It's having faith in your friends.
Really?
Roxid,
That's
you
not how
cannot
I made it.
prevail. Reopen the portal and stand aside. Charming as always, Ghidra. But is it really Ghidra now?
They sound
Last
so
I
similar.
watched, the dragon race has gone completely feral. They're little more than beasts squabbling over bits of gold. Do you really think they will recognize you as king? And my name is Discord now.
Yeah, because they got their own king.
I stopped going by Droxid the day my father died.
Probably
My
Queen
father was
Ember
the king
at this
of
point.
dragons, and I have not gone by his name because I did not feel worthy of it. However, my vassals see me as the true king of dragons, so to them I am indeed Ghidra. But I would not expect you to understand the ways of dragons, Droxid, nor does it matter, for you have far more to fear than dragons this day. Oh, do I really? What do you have left now that Twilight is gone? Your friends? Without Twilight, they can't use the element of harmony.
And
Without
friends are
Empress,
always useful,
Fenrir
yes.
is just background puppets, which means now it's just the Prince of Terror and the pathetic Prince of Hunger versus the Prince of Chaos and Nightmare Moon.
No. She's given up being that monster. Princess Luna, don't let your despair
It's
master you.
a
The
choice.
sorcery you used to become Nightmare Moon will consume you once again. It is inherently evil and can only be used for evil.
Discord. I do not want to do this.
Oh, why not? The world is going to end anyway. Any pony you kill at this point will just be spared a long, cold death of hopeless terror. Are you really going to disappoint your precious sister yet again? This is what she wanted,
I mean,
isn't it?
No. I will not let her down.
if it's
Not
already
this
doomed
time.
now, then what's the point of killing them then?
I am reborn.
Your sorcery allows you to pervert your dream powers, torturing and feeding upon the fear of all the sleeping ponies around the world. Twilight told me this. Drawing on the power of so many, I would be cast down if I were to stand against you, alone.
Right?
The mighty Prince of Terror giving up without a fight? Pathetic. Grovel before me, and if you amuse me enough,
Grovel.
I may spare your pathetic life.
I said that I could not defeat
We're not
you
brought here to grovel.
alone. But I am not alone. Not anymore.
Jedi was
You
destroyed
seem
by
to have
money
overlooked a
accident.
very obvious problem with your plan.
I have missed nothing. I am all powerful and all knowing.
Then you know that when I arrived in this world, Princess Celestia gave me a very important quest. And it is the fact that I completed that quest that I stand before you today.
Friendship? You cannot possibly be saying what I think.
The elements of terror.
You are the Prince of Terror, the greatest
That's
of
the
all
new
abysmals.
team,
There is
I suppose.
No way.
On pain of banishment, you forced me to learn the power of friendship, expecting me to fail. And by all rights, I should have. But with Twilight's help, I have done the impossible. The Prince of Terror has true friends, and knows the power of friendship.
I wouldn't exactly call them
Nightmare,
friends.
you shall pay for your lack of vision.
Acquaintances.
Failed you again.
What in Equestria is going on in there? I'm going to take a look. No, you won't. Why not? It's our job to keep the princess safe. By not opening the door, we can simply assume that everything is all right, and they are just doing some alicorn magic ritual.
Yeah.
But if you open the door and see that they are fighting, you will be morally compelled to help, and die a horrific and pointless death caught in the crossfire between immortals.
Uh-huh.
So no, you will not open the door. You truly are brilliant. You should be a
And
princess
then-
with that kind of smarts.
And then if your princesses
Just a
win,
moment here.
they'll come
It
out and
was all
say,
good fun, wasn't
hey,
it?
you
And we
suckers
all learned
didn't try and
powerful
protect
lessons
me.
about friendship,
You're banished.
didn't we? Some of us have, Droxid, but not you. Nevertheless, I will not use the
I'm not digging this music.
For though you have intended me harm, there is one here whom you have hurt far more than I. As her claim
Fluttershy.
greater, she has asked to be your opponent, and I have granted her wish. Fluttershy? You want me to fight Fluttershy? You have to be kidding me. I know you've been training, but seriously, I'm 1,000 years old and you haven't even ascended yet. What could you possibly do to threaten me?
Discord, before we do this,
Wow.
I just need to know one thing.
More things than
Are you
one.
doing this because you blame Guy for your father's
I mean,
death?
this girl could do a lot of things.
Heavens, no, my dear. My
Stare.
father was an abuser.
Doesn't work, but yeah,
He died of his
stare.
own terminal stupidity. Both I and the world are far better off without him.
Then why?
Because
Say it, Discord. You'll never get another chance.
I've never liked Ghidorah. He's always been the center of attention. All any abyssal would ever talk about growing up was, have you heard about Ghidorah today? What a marvelous young prince he is. How charming and handsome he is. How very smart and clever he is. How very proper and well-behaved he is. Why do you have to keep making trouble, Droxid? Be more like Ghidorah, Droxid. I never liked him.
It's my Discord.
Always rubbed me the wrong way, and I hated being compared to him, especially by my fool father.
Are you telling me that you're doing this out of some sort of petty rivalry?
Yes, that's
No.
what rivals always are. They're
I
petty.
disliked him because of our petty rivalry. But
Until
I
they're
hated
not.
him the moment he kissed you.
And why would that bother you, Discord?
Well, you're my only friend.
Even if I married Prince Ghidra, we could still be friends, Discord. So was that really the reason?
The
Why?
Ghidra's marrying
I
Twilight.
don't suppose it matters now, does it?
How many
I'm in love
marriages
with
can you have?
There, I said it. Ghidorah took from me the only thing I truly treasure in this world, and that is why I'm more than willing to go along with Celestia's amusing little plot. Can we start killing each other now?
Discord, you silly boy. I'm in love with you too. I have been for a long time.
But you and Ghidorah...
I
Gosh
didn't believe
golly.
you liked me like that, Discord. You never said anything. You just came over for tea.
Well, she does
How was I
now.
supposed to
Supposedly she's married to
Ghidra,
him.
from the moment I met him,
Theoretically.
not only told me he cared about me, but proved it by doing the hard things.
They're
needed
really
to help
good
me.
friends. They stay at
If
each
you had
other's
just told me
houses.
that you loved me, I never would have kissed Ghidra.
Oh, that's just well and good. I missed my chance. Way to rub salt in the wounds. That doesn't change anything.
It does, Discord, because I have come to realize that even though I deeply love Prince Ghidra, I'm not in love with him. I'm still in love with you.
Fine, fine. Let's get to the fighting. Wait. What did you just... Sorry about the whole banishing you forever thing, Ghidra. It was all just a big
that was quick.
misunderstanding. Sorry, Luna dear. The wedding is off. It's not you, it's me. Oh, and let me just open that for you, shall I?
Oh, Discord. This song's from something. It was played at a funny video. SFM. Well, on it. With, the One Volts. Not sure this is the good music choice. But there looks like there's a lot of rarity recolors out there. Or is that just the darts? No, they're definitely recolors. There's
I knew everything would be just fine.
this. Is that the end? Ghidorah and Twilight. Friendship is terrifying. That's not what this series is called, Ghidorah and Twilight. It's the Ghidorah and Twilight Show. Also known as Friendship is Terrifying. Nose is really wanting to sneeze. Try to stop it. Instead of just all these things about who voiced who, just say, I voiced them all. It'll save you a lot of time. You don't don't need to do that, but you know, it will save you a lot of time. Oh, end credits. Is this a library?
Sombra. I no longer possess the will to harm the Prince of Terror. But even if I did, I would never ask for your help.
Release me from your sister's curse, and I will finish him for you.
I have no doubt that you would, Sombra. And then my sister and myself and the whole of the world. Remain a shade, for in darkness you reign, so in darkness remain.
Oh, cleverly stated, Celestia. But even without your help, I will soon break this curse, and then this world shall burn beneath my hooves.
So
You are behind the times, King of Shadows. If you wish to loose
there's
your
this
vile
interesting
threats,
thing going
go
on
visit
with
the
his
shadows
eye,
of Twilight and Ghidra.
which
They are the true power.
I think he's trying to emulate the flowy thing
You will not even budge for
that
your
Samurai Eye
purpose.
does, but I think instead he's just moving part of the eyelid up and down, because that's clearly not the mist. It just looks really weird.
No matter. You may warn Ghidra if you wish or not. It matters little to me. Nothing can stop
It might also just be connected
You are
to
lost,
the
Sombra.
mouthpiece.
Just as I have been my whole
I don't
life.
know,
There may yet be
but
hope for you.
I don't think
as
that
there was
should
for me.
have been there.
Would you teach me the power of friendship then? While we frolic and picnic beneath the rainbow?
Because it's
On
almost
second thought, you can just burn.
yeah, it's kind of sinking to his
I have
dialogue.
not yet played my whole hand. I still have one ace in the hole.
So I don't know
For I
what
know a secret that has been lost to all.
him
the
talking
ages.
like this
The
for
great Lord Abyss
does
had
for
more
his
than
character.
one son.
I don't know. But a Sombra cameo. I don't know what's that gonna do. Celestia's gonna do something next season, so we'll see what happens then when we finally get to that. So yeah, that was the final 2 episodes of the show here, of this first season of the show here. I mean, really, what I have to say is pretty much what I've said through every episode I've said before. It's okay. I guess, you know, I'm not really a big fan of the show as other people are. I've enjoyed taking a look at it, and I'm still going to continue to take a look at it. But yeah, this isn't my kind of show. It's not my style of writing. It's not my style of animation. It's definitely not my style of voice acting that's done, or even the storytelling that's done. It's really weird, which is probably what keeps people's attention about this show. It's just how weird it all is. King of Ghidorah and Twilight. It just feels like it's out of fan fiction. It's like, sure, let's go with that. Let's see how that works. But it's all weird. I do think that more work could be put into the animation, and like, animation is a lot of work. I'll say that because it's not easy to do, even just to try and do it. And so to make it very smooth, to make it much more engaging and having so much to do, even just simply having the characters sit there and talk and move their head, it's time consuming. And if you're trying to make a whole series of that, then you know you're gonna have to do your best to get things out in a timely manner. However, with that, I do feel like there's an opportunity that's lost with this series, because throughout most of it, it's just characters standing and talking. And, you know, they're not talking like, energetically. It's just casual talking with not much emotion put into the voice. And, like, their head is just moving slowly when talking. And, you know, they're telling the story, and there's a lot of dialogue that's out there, and there doesn't exactly feel like there's difference in characters besides different voices that's done for characters. Besides that, they all kind of talk in the same way, which makes sense. It's all voiced by the same guy, and so there's only so much that you can do to change how the way you speak, but things could be better. If the animation were, if you took more time with the animation to make it more engaging, I guess, because the last episode that I reacted to, the Terror of the Library, that was terrible. That wasn't very good, because essentially it's 30 minutes of looking at the exact same frame, and it's like, it's almost like watching a radio drama, in which, you know, radio dramas, they're good, they're fine, but if it's just dialogue back and forth, and it's not just dialogue, it's expositional dialogue, which this show has a lot of expositional dialogue to set up the world, and because the world is different, they have to set up the past. There's so much lore that they have to try and create and talk about. A lot of the dialogue in the show is very expositional, and so it's not always engaging unless you're a person who just loves looking into lore and finding out the different kinds of lore that's had. On top of that, you know, whenever they do the action in this show, the very few action pieces, it's very limited in terms of just what goes on. It's just, they talk for a while, they shoot off one laser beam, then they continue to talk. There's maybe a few thing that's done, and, you know, that was pretty much the whole extent of the fight. And there was no fight with Nightmare Moon and our main characters. You know, Nightmare Moon, she became Nightmare Moon, she monologued for a bit, and then the good guys zapped her back to normal. There wasn't exactly a fight, which, you know, fighting would probably be even more difficult to animate, so that makes sense there. But there's not much in terms of this show that's very fantastic. There's not really much to come back and rewatch this show, which, in terms of rewatchability, this series doesn't really have much. I think it works for maybe watching it for one time and then leave it be, come back 10 years later, show it to someone else, they'll get the same thing. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot of rewatchability in this. On the basic visual side, maybe there's more in the story side that, if you really take a look and pay attention, fit all the pieces, maybe that'll be interesting to see. There's some lore does, but for me right now, I'm not really a big fan of the show. I've enjoyed it so far through how weird it is. Because it's really weird seeing them kiss, just seeing all the different thing that's really done in this show. But besides that, I'm not in love with this show. I think it's an interesting piece of entertainment for this reaction series, and this is a really unique, I think, reaction series. At least series for me to react to, because it's not like a normal reaction series where I'm watching well animated stuff. This one is it's odd. It's different from the other shows, which it's unique. And I don't really think it's a show that's really reacted to much, or if any. And so, yeah, I'll continue to see the show through its second season. And then maybe I'll watch it if there's ever a third season. But for now, it's okay. It's kind of along the same lines of Beware the Batman, where I can watch it. I can enjoy some things. I have problems with the animation and some story elements. And overall, I can watch it, but most of the story elements that happen, I forget about. Because they don't really entice me that much. And so that's just what I'm going to say about the show. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.